So scrolling through TikTok, I've seen this trend where photographers, up in the top of the screen, they list Lightroom Classic, Photoshop, whatever, and they stand in the middle and they go towards whichever one that they prefer. And out of all the videos I've seen, I think I've only seen like 1 or 2 where someone actually did what I do. And that's use all 3. If you're ever wondering, should you use Lightroom Classic or Lightroom, and what are the differences between the two, I'm not so much going to explain the differences, but I am going to explain how to use them both together in this video. And in a future video, I'll talk about how to use Photoshop with the Lightrooms. Out of the 2 Lightrooms, obviously Lightroom Classic is the preferred application. It's the one that I do all my main work from. But what sucks about Lightroom Classic is that it's only on your desktop or laptop. There's not a phone application, there's not a tablet application, there's none of those. So that's where Lightroom comes in. And the great thing about Lightroom is it's on all platforms. On your desktop, your laptop, your phone, your tablet, it's even got a web application. So what I have done is linked Lightroom Classic and Lightroom through the Adobe Cloud. That way all of my work that I do on Lightroom Classic is also transferred over into Lightroom. So I don't think like Lightroom Classic versus a Lightroom. I think of Lightroom as an extension of Lightroom Classic, and Lightroom is a tool that can be used with Lightroom Classic. So here's how you set it up. You're gonna open up Lightroom Classic, and then on the top right hand of the screen, you're gonna click on the cloud. And if you haven't started the syncing process yet, click on Start Syncing. As you can see, I've already started it. And now to import photos, if you're not already, you're gonna start using Collections. In the Collections tab, click on the plus icon. Here, you can start with collection sets and set up folders. I have portraits, senior portraits, weddings, theater, street photography, and so on. Now you're gonna create collection. You're gonna name your collection, you're gonna say what collection set you want it to go to if you want to, and most importantly, you need to check the box at the bottom to make sure that it is syncing to Lightroom as well. Now in your collection tree, at the left of your collection name, you will see a sync icon. And if you click that, it will stop syncing to Lightroom. And if it's not syncing to Lightroom and you don't see that icon, click on the box and then it'll start syncing to Lightroom. Now you want to give Lightroom Classic a chance to back up the photos to the cloud. And if this is your first time doing it and you have a lot of photos in Lightroom Classic, this is going to take a while. So now when you open up Lightroom on your phone, your tablet, your desktop, your laptop, web application, anywhere, you're gonna see all of the collections that you made in Lightroom Classic in the albums of Lightroom. And again, all of your edits, all of your ratings, everything's gonna be there. And any edits you may do in Lightroom or any rating changes you may do in Lightroom is going to then transfer over to Lightroom Classic. This is a really great way to take Lightroom Classic with you anywhere you go. Now, there are some limitations to Lightroom. Lightroom is close, but it still doesn't have all the tools that Lightroom Classic has. One that comes to mind is Range Mask, and I know a lot of people like to use that, and that's not available in Lightroom right now. Another problem a lot of people have is Lightroom doesn't have any color filter system. So if you're gonna do this, you may have to change the way that you organize your photos in a collection using stars and flags. But once you start using it, I know you're gonna love it. One way I like to use this is for culling. When I'm on a plane ride, I'm on a car ride, I'm sitting and waiting at a doctor's office or something, or maybe I'm just sick of sitting at my desk and I go sit on my couch, I grab my phone and I start rating and I start rejecting and accepting photos. Or if I remember that I want to post a photo on Instagram and I'm not at my desktop, I can easily go into Lightroom on my phone and export the photo and upload it to Lightroom. I can share my work with my friends and family on my phone. I can make edits on my phone or my tablet. And then also you can sign in with their web app from anywhere, and if you're using someone else's desktop or laptop that has Lightroom downloaded, you can sign into your Adobe account and start continue working from there. One thing you do need to keep in mind is you still will need to upload any presets to both. At the moment, any presets you have in Lightroom Classic do not transfer over to Lightroom, so remember to do that. Again, I will be posting a video in the future talking about how to use Photoshop with the Lightrooms, so be sure to follow me and click the bell icon so you're notified when that video comes. And thank you so much for watching. I would love to read any of your comments that you have on this, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up.